Hello?
Hi, hello, is this Simone?
Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Hey, Simone, this is Tommy Bryson. How can I help?
Just a little rundown. So I'm 19. I pretty much just want to get into like learning stocks and see what I could invest my money in like really soon.
Okay.
Um, but I really don't know anything. So I came across your videos last night and I was watching a few videos and I think I want to do be a passive investor.
Okay.
That might be the safest one for me, I guess, to start off with. But
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna ask, like, what type of app should I first start off with, and like, I guess what's the best companies to do? I guess I'll have to research that myself, really. But
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So let me ask you a question, Simone. What's your goal as far as investing? Like, what are you looking at? Are you trying to like get like to retire super early? Are you trying to have, for example, a nest egg for the future, or are you just trying to like build something up on the side? Like, what's your goal as far as investing?
I would say like build something up for the future, number one, and yeah, have something on the side. I didn't want to do it like full time because I'm in college and everything right now,
Okay.
so I just wanted it to be like a side thing for my future.
What are you studying?
I'm actually studying psychology forensics concentration. So
Psychology, forensic concentration. That sounds awesome.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
this is your first year. You're a freshman.
yeah. I'm about to be a sophomore this year,
Okay.
upcoming.
Awesome. How's it going so far?
Um, it's pretty good. Grades are good, and I just got some new scholarships for next year, so
Awesome.
everything's been pretty good. Yeah,
Awesome. And you have a job?
I do.
Okay.
I got laid off when COVID hit. I had two jobs my senior year,
Mm-hmm.
but so I finally got a job this summer. I'm at Moe's, so but yeah,
Okay.
it's a good job for the summer until I go back.
Okay. How much would you say you
hmm
make like per month?
Uh, I don't know because I just got started, so I've been there about like
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Okay.
So I've made, I would say probably. So I make like it says 9 an hour, but I really make 14 because we get tips.
Okay.
So I work every day except like for Wednesdays and Fridays. Um, and my checks are around like like around 6 to 700
Bi-weekly?
for 2 weeks. Yeah, for two
Yeah.
weeks.
It's like fourteen
Yeah.
hundred. And
All right.
that,
Yeah.
okay. So other question. So you're in college. You have a job at Moe's. Most likely, you'll probably get another job because you're a little crazy like I am. Um,
Mhm.
but the big thing is you got some scholarships. But are you getting like a full ride in college, or are you gonna need to take some student loans out and so on?
Oh no, I don't have any student loans. So pretty much like most of my scholarships cover everything, and like
Mm-hmm.
whatever the remaining balance is, like I have a trust fund. My dad left me a trust fund, so I just use that. And I
I'm sorry
have
about
like
that.
previous money. Oh yeah, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like previous money. I saved up from working two jobs. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally, I was working one job and just let that pay for like gas and food. And then my other
Yeah.
job, I was saving up, and the money's just been sitting there for like over a year now. So
Yeah.
I was like, I got to do something. You know,
Okay.
I got to do
S-
something with this money.
So let me ask
So.
you a question. The trust fund your
Mhm.
dad left you, is it just for education purposes, or is it just your money no matter what?
Just education.
So it's just education purposes.
Right.
So
But I
let's
think
say.
whatever's left, I'll
Mm-hmm.
have. Like, I think I'll, like, get that, whatever I have left. So I
Okay.
think that's how it works with that. Yeah.
So you probably want to confirm that just to verify. But the reason I asked was because usually when you're in college, your priority should be basically graduate and debt free. So whatever job
Right.
you have or whatever money you do have is just going towards paying the bills. So that way you can fully graduate debt free. Now, if you don't
hmm
mind me asking, how much money did your dad leave you in the trust fund?
So pretty much he was in real estate, so he
Mm-hmm.
still has properties going on. So it's like I get five a month, no matter what. Like to the date,
Five
like it's
five
like
hundred.
yeah, 500 a month,
Okay.
and it just
Uh,
rolls in because it just comes off of like from his business, pretty much.
Okay,
So
so it sounds like it's like an
yeah,
overflow from like the real estate he left behind that pays him rent and so on, and then passes on
right,
to you, right?
right.
Okay. Now, here's what I would do, right? If I were you and I was 19 years old and I had to start college all over again, what would I do? The first thing is just verify that the major you pick has like some type of like longevity to it. It actually has some type of demand to it. So that way, when you do graduate, you can find a job, because that's the number one thing, because you're gonna put a lot of money into this career. So, and since you're so early on, for example, you're just getting to the sophomore stage. Potentially, if it does not end up being what you think it is, you could just switch it over to a career that might be more in demand. Right? That's just the first thing. Second thing is basically, I would start saving up money for emergencies, just in case anything happens. Because right now, everything is being able to be covered without having any debt whatsoever. So that means if I know
Right.
what my overall expenses are for the next 3 months or the next 2 months, just like save up the money on the side, keep it in a separate account. That way you don't spend it only if something goes wrong. The rest of the money, right, from your
Mhm.
job and from anything else going on, if you want to invest, you have any debt, by the way, like credit card debt, consumer debt, anything like
Yeah,
that?
none.
Okay,
None.
awesome. So I would stay away from those things, okay? When I was
Mhm.
19 years old, I was very big on credit cards. As a 24-year-old today, I'm not that big on credit cards anymore. If you want to use credit cards, like for the sake of building credits, you can if you want to. However, you don't need credit to buy a home. And I don't recommend you ever buy a car on credit. So you don't really need credit whatsoever, because they do like a manual underwriting based on your income and your bill history. But if you want to make it easier, what you could do is just get one or two credit cards, secured credit cards.
Mhm.
You put one small bill on each of them. For example, your Netflix bill and your Apple Music bill, right? And you set them to
Mhm.
auto pay themselves in full every single month, and you cut the credit cards. That way, you build up your payment history, which is like the number one thing when it comes to your credit score, but you never get into any debt and you never pay any interest. Does that make sense?
Yeah. See, like I don't have one yet. Like I don't have any type of credit yet at
hmm
all. But
But you don't need it. If you wanted to make
yeah.
it easier, you can if you want to, but you don't. Like they tell you, like, oh, you need credit, but in reality, the only time you're gonna need credit is when it comes to buying a home. And if you go, for example, with a lender that does like manual underwriting, where the look is basically, hey, what's her income, and what are her debts like, and on top of that, what's her bill history like? So if you have history of your
Mhm.
rent payments, all that stuff, they use that information to then determine exactly how much money they're going to lend you. So you don't need credit, because all credit proves is basically how you treat and how you can basically manage debt, right? And they can do that in different forms based on your income and your bill history. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once I know I have the right career, once I have a good emergency account, and once I know for sure I'm going to be able to pay for school out of pocket, so that way I graduate fully debt free, all the rest of the money, I can use that money for investing if I want to, right? Now, I would only
Mhm.
invest between 10 to 20% of my income. If I have an overflow of income, potentially that can be used for expenses that will come later on. For example, maybe buying a house, a down payment for the future, or maybe like wedding expenses, or maybe like when you want to buy a car and so on. So if you're
Right.
investing, what would I do and how would I do it? If your company, most gives like a 401k match, then you can take advantage of that. If they don't give you, for example, a 401k match, I would just invest all the money that I basically make, like that 10, 20%, and put it, for example, into my Roth IRA. You know what a Roth IRA
It's
is?
no, you said raw fire. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm low
no.
key jotting notes down.
Yeah, so
The
Roth IRA,
uh-huh.
like it's like letters, like three letters I'm spelling out. So IRA.
Mhm.
IRA stands for Individual
Okay.
Retirement Account. Okay?
Okay.
Now,
Gotcha.
the difference between an IRA and a Roth IRA, whenever you hear like Roth attached to anything, think about I'm investing my money after I pay taxes on it. Now, what does that mean? Because you already paid taxes on it, it means you won't be taxed on it in the future. So if you leave that money there, you let it grow, 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 and then when it's time for you to take it out, according to the IRS and all that stuff, you can take all that money out. It's 100% yours, no taxes. However, when you do like an IRA or a normal 401k, because by the way, 401ks also have a Roth option, but if you just do the standard
Mhm.
stuff, they're called like pre-tax, like retirement accounts. Meaning, for example, if you make $1,000 at most before taxes, you can go ahead and invest that money before you pay taxes, deduct it from your taxes that year, and then it keeps growing tax-free. But the catch is that when you're like 65 or whenever the time is to take that money out, they will tax you on that money because you never paid taxes on it whatsoever. So $1 million becomes like 700, 800K. Well, $1 million with a Roth is still $1 million because it's all yours because you pay the taxes when you were young. Because you don't need the money right now, you'll need it in the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's just one account, right? Now, what company would I use to open that account with? I'll go through a few of them with you, okay? You have ACORNs, you have M1 Finance, you have SoFi, you have Stash, you have Robinhood, you have the Cash App, you have Vanguard, Fidelity, E-Trade. There's a lot of companies, obviously. Now, the main companies that are probably advertising to you right now are going to be most likely SoFi, Acorns, and Stash, and also Robinhood. Now, the problems with a lot of those apps is that basically they're not long-term friendly. Now, if you want to be like LTT, like long-term team here, the idea is you want to invest for the long term, and you want to make it easy on you, and you want to automate it. The good thing about Acorns is basically when you invest money into that, it's like fully automated. They do everything for you. It's a good portfolio. But the con is that they have way too much power. Meaning, if they wanted to change the whole portfolio and sell your investments and buy other ones, they can if they want to without permission. But that would also cost you a tax liability. So what I would do is I would use M1 Finance. That's the app I use. So in all of my videos, right, I have a link down below to it, and when you click that link, it shows you exactly what I invest into. Now, it's important that you know why I do something and not just know what I do, right? Because if you just see what I invest into, but you don't understand it, it doesn't help you anyway anyhow, right? So when you go to that portfolio, I'm gonna open it right here on my phone so I can kind of like go through it with you on my M1 Finance app. So let me go ahead and open it for you. And yes, you can open a Roth IRA with them, okay? So you can do everything, and I'm telling you, you can do it over there, okay?
Okay.
Now, you're gonna have, I think it's around like 7 investments, okay? That's about it. They're going to be ETFs. ETFs are exchange traded funds. Now, these exchange traded funds are just basically mirroring some index funds. Index funds are basically like the ones you have, for example, at Vanguard or Fidelity and so on, but basically they release a price like once a day. The difference is with ETFs, basically they're traded on the exchange. So the price fluctuates up and down based on everything else going on in the market. But don't worry about it because again, you're doing it for the long term. So my portfolio revolves around balance and making sure you're going to be safe for the future. So you have investments in the US market as a whole, the large companies, also in the small companies in the US, also in international companies, also into bonds. And by the way, bonds are usually, instead of like trying to buy equity in a company through stocks, bonds is basically when you lend a company money. So they kind of like have debt that you actually lent them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I have bonds in there. I also have, for example, corporate and both treasury bonds. Treasury is when you lend money to the government. Corporate is when you lend money to companies. I also have some real estate ETFs in there. And lastly, I have some emerging stock ETFs. Now, what this is a lot of different things, okay? So that means when one part of the market goes down, it doesn't matter because you have other parts that have nothing to do with that one part. So your portfolio is kind of like a seesaw. When one person goes up, right, the other one goes down. When one goes back up, the other one goes down. So it kind of always stays nimble and with this balance, so you're never really at risk. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I do as far as investing. So what I would recommend to answer your question is, if I were you, and I could make sure that basically and by the way, if at any point things change and it sounds like I'm not going to graduate debt free, I will pause all investing and focus on only trying to pay so that way I can basically graduate debt free. Okay?
Right.
But I would get M1 Finance with a Roth IRA and invest between 10 to 20% of my income. If you do 20%, if you pick 15%, the rule is you don't change it. So whatever you do pick, you set M1 Finance to automatically invest that money into your portfolio. The portfolio, when you click on my link, you'll see exactly what I invest into, and you can copy that if you want to. But if you look up, for example, best portfolios, Tommy Bryson, you'll see another few of them. But the reason I picked this one is because basically it's moderately aggressive. So it's kind of like aggressive, but it's not that aggressive. So that way you don't carry that much risk. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think I got everything down. So you said get me the M1 finance, and I have to like build my portfolio, everything. So I also, this too, I meant to mention this. So while COVID was happening, like I got unemployment, but I haven't, I haven't spent that. So it's
you
just
haven't
like,
spent it.
Yeah.
So how much
I'm a
cash
real
do you have right
saver
now?
Type of person, huh?
How much cash do you have?
Probably around 9K.
Okay.
About
And
9K.
what are your monthly expenses?
Gas.
You have four main types, right? You
food.
have shelter, utilities, transportation,
Right.
and groceries.
Right, but that's my shelter and utilities are covered because I'm with my mom, so
Awesome.
that's covered. I just really have like gas and food, and that's
Okay, awesome.
probably 100, if that.
Do you help your mom with some cash every month or no?
No.
Okay. You probably want to give her like a little 100 or something like that every now and then, like a little Benjamin, But
Yeah.
yeah. But what I would do, since you don't have that many expenses, that means you don't really need that much like money in your emergency account, which is awesome, right?
Right.
So the main thing, Simone, is going to be for you not to mess this up, okay? Because you are in an amazing position. You have no debt. You can graduate debt free. It's just making sure that you pick the right career to graduate as, so you can actually find a job. And then make sure you don't get into any consumer debt like credit card debt, or you saw this nice purse you wanted, or you saw this nice car that you wanted. Is your car paid off, by the way?
Yeah, my mom. That was like my senior gift, so that's
Awesome.
All paid off. My mom.
You have great parents. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Congratulations. But yeah, it's just about if I had that $9,000, I'll probably set aside like $2,000-$3,000, put it in a separate account. I usually use like either SoFi money or Wealthfront to keep my emergency account. That way it's separate and you don't use it. Okay? And then
Right.
I'll
actually
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask you, have you heard of Ally Bank? Because
you mean Ally? Ally?
It's called Ally Bank.
Yes, it's Ally.
Bank. So I have I have an account with them because I also like I be doing a lot. So I have like a wig business somewhat.
Awesome.
I'm starting off. So like I'll sell wigs and customize hair for people. So the money I've got from that, like I've put like around, I think I have like 700 in that account. I just like it because I know like the interest rate on it. So
wait, say that again. You say you have debt on what?
I have like a account with them for
with
like
Ally
my hair
Bank?
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So
You
I was
have
gonna say, would you
a credit card with them,
ahead.
or you have like a checking accounts with them? What do you mean?
just a savings?
Okay.
Like
I thought
a
you had
savings,
that.
Yeah.
And your question is, would I take the money out and go somewhere else with it?
I was gonna say like you were saying you would take out 2,000 to 3,000. Is that for like the investment or is that for the
No.
the savings?
Okay. Let me explain it here so we can get everything so I don't confuse you. What if I had $9,000? What I would do is I would take $3,000 or $2,000 to put it into an emergency fund. And an emergency fund is for things that are unexpected. For example, you break a leg or your mom gets sick or something crazy happens. Your car breaking down is not that. You should have like a separate sinking fund for your car breaking down, like another 1,000 or 2,000 on the side for that, okay? So let's just say $2,000 for the emergency account, $1,000 for like your car if anything does happen to it, okay? That's $3,000 on the side. The other, for example, $6,000, I would start to drizzle that into my investing, meaning I would start investing that 15 to 20% or 10 to 20% into my investment account, to my Roth IRA slowly. Now, the reason I wouldn't invest all of it at once is because of this, right? In investment, we have a term, it's called dollar cost average. It means instead of buying all at once, imagine, for example, you have a business, right? It's the wig business, right? And you're buying wigs left and right, and wigs go, for example, $50 a pop. But sometimes they go down to 40 or 30 or 20. Now, the problem is, if you buy a wig at $50, a lot of inventory, at $50, but then the wig market crashes, you're stuck with all these wigs. And if you try to sell it, you're going to take a massive loss, right? But if you grab your money and you start buying those wigs slowly, so when the price drops, you're still buying there. When it goes up, you're still buying there. You still buy them at an average price because you bought both high and also low. Does that make sense?
Right.
So the same thing goes with investing.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So instead of investing all at once, because right now the market is super high because the government's put a bunch of money in the market. So what you want to do is, instead of like buying at a very high price right now, you rather say, hey, I'm going to invest 10-20% of this money into my Roth IRA. And by the way, it's capped out as $6,000 every single year. So it would mostly be, for example, let's say $6,000 is a cap divided by 12. You can invest somewhere around $500 a month. Or if you want to, you can do it bi-weekly. So instead of doing $500 a month, you do $250 bi-weekly, and you invest, or you can do it weekly if you want to. And that way, you're going to be buying high and low, but you're buying it at an average price. Now, this only works if you stick to it. Because if you only buy when the market is high and you stop buying when it's low, you're basically doing everything for nothing. Because the point is to buy at an average price is because when you're buying at an average high price, when it goes down, that's when you want to keep buying to average out the price. Because when the market is low, you want to basically buy at a discount. Now, let me give you a warning here, okay? The only way that the portfolio I gave you is going to be at any real risk to ever, for example, falling apart is if, for example, the US economy as a whole crashes and the dollar becomes nothing. So at that point, if that ever happens, your money does not matter anymore. Does that make sense? So it has to be like the craziest thing. During the pandemic, I lost around 20-30%. What did I do? I invested more money. Now I'm up somewhere like around 18-20%, right? From that original date, meaning I'm making more money. But the point is, you got to keep just averaging things out. When things go down, you keep buying. And every now and then, if you see an opportunity where you say, wow, the market crashed by 20%, I'm going to go ahead and invest, for example, a lump sum of maybe $6,000 or $5,000. Does that make sense?
Right.
Sometimes. But just stick to the 10-20%, put it automatically. That way you don't got to worry about it, okay?
Okay. I would say, I know that might be hard looking at it going down and you just got to keep buying and buying.
That's why I want you to automate it. And that's why I want it to be only 15-20%, because that way you're not saying I'm putting all my money in this thing. You know what I mean? Or or you got to think about it too much, because if it's automated, it just becomes second nature. You don't got to think about it. Does that make sense?
Right. I'm gonna do that. So it's a way to go in there. I'll probably figure it out once I download it. You can just automate it and just put if you put all the money in there, and then I'll set it if I want it bi-weekly or
weekly.
Or weekly. Okay.
Now the cool thing is, if you want to, when you go into the M1 Finance app, you can just add in your banking information, and every single week when you go to transfers, you set, for example, like a smart transfer, and every single week they'll take that money out automatically from that account. But I would recommend, for example, get in the habit of having different accounts for your money. That way you don't mix it up. So I have, for example, 6 jobs for my money. The first job is emergencies. So that can be, for example, in Wealthfront or SoFi. SoFi is good because it allows you to make, for example, multiple accounts in one bank account. So that way you don't need a bunch of different accounts. So emergencies is job 1. Then you have, for example, investments. So you can have that money there also in SoFi, or keep it in Ally Bank. But make sure that M1 Finance requests the money every single week or monthly, and the money is always there. The third job is going to be getting you out of debt. In this case, you don't have any debt. Most people, by your age, have $1,000, $3,000, $4,000 in debt. Stay out of debt. It's awesome, okay? Then you have expenses. Expenses are basically what you spend money on. Since you live with your mama right now, which is awesome, by the way, you don't have to spend that much money on it. So you can have, for example, a little Chase account, or a little checking account somewhere else to just have money there that you know you're gonna spend. Okay? Then you have your fun account. If you wanna have fun with certain things, like go out with your friends or buy a fancy wig that you actually wanna buy for yourself or for your customers, whatever it is, just make sure you set that money aside for that. And then lastly, you have charity. So you can just automatically have charity taken out of your account every single week or every single month. It's important to do charity because it'll change the way you are. Just even if it's 1% or 10%, it's gonna change you. It's gonna take you from scarcity, where, oh my gosh, this money is gonna run out, to abundance, to where you're able to give money and see a difference happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay, awesome.
that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna go look at your portfolio and like see what I can do, because I was looking like, I was talking to my sister. She's a broker, but she doesn't really know too much. But she was saying like I could look at Amazon and like look into, yeah. Like I said, I'm
Look,
pretty sure they're high, and it's like,
it's not even that. The thing is, okay, it's like when people are buying stocks, they buy them as if, for example, like it's just something that they like and something cool as a big company, right? But stock, it's kind of like your business, right? If I went and I'm looking at your wig business, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, Simone is so nice. Her wig business is so cute. I like this so much. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it, right? No, I gotta look at your balance sheet. I gotta see how much debt you have. I gotta see what your competition is. I gotta see how much cash you actually make. I gotta see what type of manager you are. I gotta see your customer base. Do they like you? Why do they like you? What makes you different? What makes this business different? Because most businesses eventually they become obsolete, which is a part of business. But that work right there takes around 8 hours a day. That's what it takes Warren Buffett, right? It's a lot of work. So it's not just like Amazon is cool, Tesla is cool. If you want to do that, you can do it, but you gotta learn accounting skills and finance skills, and you also gotta read a few books. For example, Security and Analysis by Benjamin Graham, and also The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Also, those books teach you exactly how to invest and pick stocks. But just because you know how to do something doesn't mean it gets easier. It's just still a lot of work and a lot of shoveling. Does that make sense?
yeah, that makes sense.
So my advice is just please stick to the boring stuff.
It's probably better for me now just to look at yours, because I got a lot to learn, because I literally stumbled across you yesterday, so I got
That's awesome. To learn. That's awesome. So yeah, just like look, if something's working for you, you don't stop. You know, my portfolio isn't based on my 30 years of experience, because I'm only 24 years old and you're 19 years old. It's based on the 250 books that I read and invest in. People that are 10 times smarter than me and have a track record of that 30, 50 year mark. So I know that if they did it and it worked for them for 20, 30 years, this is actually going to work for me also, right? So, and sometimes, for example, you hear like accountants or maybe like your sister, like a broker, they might give you advice, but then you gotta ask yourself, do I want to be like in the position that they're in or whatever? You know what I mean? So just stick to your plan. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But you got this. I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing at age 19, and I was definitely not asking these questions at that age, so that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just trying, because I don't know. I was always a person, like, I never buy crazy stuff. I go like kind of the cheaper route. And with stuff, even buying clothes, buying hair, like anything. Like years ago in high school, I was like, I'm not going to get my hair done. I'm gonna learn it myself. Like YouTube has been like my home to learn everything. Braiding. Do you have a channel? Wigs, all that. I actually do. So I've been recording, but I'm doing it smarter, because I've recorded up to 12 videos this summer. Like doing tutorials on how I do it, installs. But I wanted to do up to like 15 videos so I can stay consistent. So I've really been, I'm serious about this. I've just been editing, and I have like 12 done, but I want to get to 15 before I really start uploading, because I want to do it like every week. So I'm starting a channel too. So
here's my advice on YouTube, right? The big thing about starting something new for the first time and then holding on to it, right, until like you're ready, is that you can't get any verification or confirmation that the content you're making is actually good. So what I mean is this, right? Imagine if you made 12 videos and you made the same mistake 12, 15 times, right? And then you find out, I just found out that this is not working out. You know what I mean? Like, people are gonna tell you, So the point, what I would do is I'll probably stop right there at 12. 12 means 12 weeks, right? If you're gonna do it like once a week. So I'll probably stop there, start posting, and understand the algorithm to YouTube, right? So just like you were able to learn about doing wigs and doing hair on YouTube, you can learn the same thing about how YouTube works also on YouTube. YouTube is just a search engine. So the only way your videos get found if it's someone actually looks it up. The only way you find my videos either YouTube recommended it to you or you search up investing and then I popped up or whatever happened. But
Right.
how did you find me, by the way? How did you find me?
I looked it up. You were like the third person to pop up, and this is a force of habit. I'm black, so I just clicked on you first because I was like, I see a brother, so I'm gonna click on him first.
Yeah.
But I Googled. Let me see what I looked up like automatically. I think I just put in. If I could check my history, I don't even know if it'll show me, but I know like I put in like stocks for sure, like.
Yeah.
How to do stocks. That was like the key word I put in. I know it was stocks. So, and you were like the third video pop up, and I was like, yeah, I'm just.
That's awesome.
But like, I liked how you were like, the first video I saw, I was like, yeah. So I just kept watching video after video. So yeah, I connected with your vibe. That's why I was like, I'm so glad you have these calls. I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So yeah, because other people just, I don't know. I don't know. I just liked how you were talking. You was talking just fast. It was just understandable. So I was like, yeah.
Well,
I like your videos better.
Thank you so much. And that's the same idea, So when somebody's gonna find your video, just make sure you're using the right keywords. So find it about SEO optimization. That means search engine optimization. Is basically the way you title your video so somebody can find your content. There's also another creator that's 10 times better than I am when it comes to like YouTube and marketing. His name is Pat Flynn. He does great, and he has a book. You read books?
I actually don't. I really don't. I should though. I don't have a problem reading or anything.
How often do you drive?
I'm really more of a math person.
How often do you drive?
How often do I write?
Do you drive? Every day?
Yeah, every day. Yeah.
Get Audible. Okay, and I have a link down below to Audible. You can get Audible for a month. You can pick 2 free books, and if you cancel, if you don't want to use it, you still keep the 2 books and get these 2 books. Okay, one is Will It Fly by Pat Flynn, and the second one is called 1,000 Super Fans, also by Pat Flynn. Those 2 books are gonna help you out a lot when it comes to understanding marketing and also YouTube. But my advice is, Simone, you are awesome. You're on track. Don't stop.
Thank you.
Start posting content. When are you gonna post? Friday, Wednesday, Monday? When?
I don't even know. Probably on Fridays. I don't know. Who knows?
Just get started. Just start posting. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you're gonna be posting. Is it just you, or is it gonna be like some of your clients that you do the wigs for? Like, how are you gonna do it?
Both me and clients. Like,
awesome.
First, like, I wanted to like create a series, and like my first TikTok video, it actually it ain't blow up, but I did get like, I think 61K views.
That's awesome.
So I was like, wow, oh my God. So, yeah, and I have like small hair page. So like, I'm gonna do myself and other clients because, I'm freshly new. So I just kept redoing different hairstyles on myself just to make more content. I was just trying to make as much content as I can.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I wanted
just
to do
remember, right? YouTube, the big thing on YouTube, right, is that you got to remember one thing, right? If I type in investing, you'll find a lot of creators. Right. If I type in hair, I'll find a lot of creators also. But if I type in hair Simone, I'm looking for Simone. So people have to connect with you as a person. Remember, you're talking to people, so it's be yourself, include yourself. And although you have value in the video, make sure to include, for example, stories about yourself. And also remember, right, YouTube is going to pay you, right, from YouTube, like from AdSense or whatever, maybe TikTok in the future also, all these platforms, but you have to monetize yourself. So if you can make, for example, like a PDF guide on how to get curly hair, or a little course on it, or a little one-on-one consultation, or whatever it is, or have like affiliate links for a lot of hair products, use that. Now, don't sell out, right? Selling out means when you start selling things you don't believe in. Sell people things you actually believe in and you actually use. That way you get paid, they're happy, everyone's fine, because you can gain an audience, a massive audience, and you can lose them just like that if they lose trust in you. Does that make sense?
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, I definitely will.
Okay. I'm happy for you. Will. And use Amazon affiliates, okay? Use Amazon affiliates. It's gonna, while you get started, make connections with other companies and so on, that's gonna serve you to be able to actually just like link products that you buy from Amazon on your channel, because people are gonna want to buy whatever this you're using because they want to see if it actually works on them like it works on you. And
Right.
be honest,
Okay.
okay?
Oh yeah, I will. Okay, so quick story, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this hair company from Amazon, they wanted I was sending like multiple companies, hey, I would love to promote your wigs, do collabs. That's what like most
Mm-hmm.
hair people do. Like they don't pay for hair. They actually
Mm-hmm.
get it for free and they
Awesome.
charge the company. Yeah, so I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to do that. One of the companies actually wanted to work with me. They sent me my money through PayPal and PayPal froze my money. Like they said they wanted to permanently remove me from PayPal, and I've called like 3 different times. I'm gonna call them again today, but they froze the money the company sent to me and everything. I don't know. And I
How
was
much did
talking
they
to this.
send you?
They sent me 146, like my total, because they wanted me to buy. They said they couldn't send me the hair through
Oh,
Amazon. They were gonna like send me the money so I could pay it, but I
okay.
don't. Yeah,
Now,
they froze my money, like, and they
here's the
froze
thing,
my
right?
account.
That might
Yeah.
actually be a good thing, and here's why. Okay.
Mhm.
First of all, you want to contact PayPal and just be transparent. Okay. Hey, well, don't. The thing is, you can get in trouble for this because here's what it sounds like, right? A lot of
Mhm.
companies, what they do is they send you the money through PayPal. They ask you to buy the product through Amazon. That way, you get it for free, and they ask you also to
Mhm.
review it. That's actually illegal. Now, because
Oh.
it's not like illegal, like you're gonna go to jail, but it's more like
Yeah.
they're kind of like buying fake reviews and so on, right? That's what they do a lot.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
and the main thing is that here's the tricky part, right? Sometimes what they do is once they send you the money through PayPal and once you buy the product, once you leave a review, they ask PayPal to give them their money back. And then you're left with
Mm.
like a massive bill and also a product that might not be that good. Does that make
Right.
sense? Might be what
Yeah.
happened, but might not be. I'm not sure. But that's what I would
Yeah.
contact PayPal and be like, hey, just wanted to know, guys, I've been with you guys for X amount of time. I'm a
Yeah. Like, and I never
business.
had these. So look, the
Yeah.
thing is, though, look, I called them 3 different times. I talked to 3 different people. The first guy said, "Oh, I don't know the reason they're blocking your account," and I had to go to work, so I just, I was like, "Well, I'll call back later when I'm on my break."
Mm-hmm.
Talked to another guy named Sean. He was like, "Oh yeah, they're still trying to figure it out." When I got off work, I talked to a lady. She said they would email me in like 3 or 4 days. They never emailed me. And she
Mm-hmm.
said, like, I told them, like, I can show you screenshots of me talking to the company. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
affiliated with them. I just met them,
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I had no idea that was illegal. Like, I
Give them
had
a
no
call
idea.
back. Just give them another call
Yeah.
back and be like, just be nice. Be nice and be someone that you want to help. Be the
Right.
person that make sure that they want to help you. Okay. So just be
Mhm.
nice and be like, hey, just need help with this problem. I've been dealing with it for a week. I use PayPal as my business format. People pay me through here. What's going on? I
Yeah.
just want to get to the solution here. That's the big thing. If they're giving you the runaround, you gotta keep calling sometimes because some agents or just call or just speak to a manager. Say, hey, can I speak to a manager to find out exactly what's going on? Right? That can also potentially help you.
Yeah.
But my advice would be if you're trying to reach out, for example, to like hair companies, you can if
Mhm.
you want to, but reach out to companies that you actually like, and you actually enjoy using. And
Right.
once you build your audience, a lot of those companies are going to reach out to you. And also, don't forget about your local like places that do like salons and stuff like that, right? Potentially, you could say, hey, can I use some of your products in the salon, and I'll promote your whole business on my channel and have people come here
Mm.
and all this stuff. There's
Okay.
a
Yeah.
lot of ways. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't even think
So
about that. I thank you so, so, so much. Oh my
I
gosh.
thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
All right. Any more questions? Or you got it?
Um, I think I'm good. I jotted everything down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get started on this today because I feel like I should have invested yesterday. So I'm
All
a,
right. Awesome.
I'm gonna get this going. Thank you so much.
Okay. And by the way, Simone, all these calls, they're not like a one-time thing. So if you ever want to call back, just feel free to schedule another call and I'll get right on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. See you later.
All
Peace
right.
out and have fun. Okay.
See you later. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, guys, so I want to give a special welcome to Simone for joining the LTT squad, right? And that stands for long-term team. And it's always awesome seeing somebody that's brand new enter the whole investment field and me being just a little small part of just helping them out. You know why? Because in reality, I don't do anything. I just tell you, hey, this is what I've learned, here's what, but you are the person that has to be doing all the investing and has to put in the discipline and consistency to keep making this actually work for yourself. So I'm always happy to talk to you guys one-on-one. If you guys want to join me next time, and by the way, yes, okay, I know about these little scams because basically I remember once, I think I worked with a company, they never did it, okay? None of my subscribers had an issue with it, but they used to pay people to buy products on Amazon, okay? And then once you bought the products, they sent you money on PayPal, you gave them a review. But some people did say, not from my channel, from like other channels, saying, hey, they actually claimed the money back from PayPal, okay? And that's like a big issue. And the big thing is you buy the product, but you're not allowed to actually return it, okay? That's the big thing, guys, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you want to join me on one of these calls, well, feel free to do so. What are you waiting for? Join the long-term team. Talk to me one-on-one, Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern to what is it? 5 p.m. Eastern, okay? For 30 minutes, whenever you actually want to. And yes, all calls are free. Link down below. Join me or send me a DM on Instagram at Tommy Bryson. And pretty soon, I'll be opening up a website where you can actually leave me a voicemail and then I'll come on the show and answer that voicemail for you right here live on this show. Okay, guys? See you tomorrow. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. And on top of that, if you want to watch more content, here's another video right here. Click my face right here. And as always, peace.